Hi, I'm Melissa Mulholland.
Hello, and I'm Dr. Sharon Safari-Stippold.
We have some exciting news.
Yes, Melissa and I just co-authored our first book together in the No Place for Me series entitled Just Another Slice.
This book is a foster care story based on true events.
Those true events are about my lived experience as a foster child growing up in the foster care system. The 9-year-old younger version of myself is the narrator in our story, and we named her Sarah Bailey.
Sarah goes through a great deal in a short amount of time that passes in the setting of this book. In subsequent books in the series, you will see that unfortunately the difficulties Sarah must endure follow her, and in many ways worsen as time passes.
The younger me will take you, the reader, through her journey of resiliency and her uncanny ability to find people, places, and things that bring her happiness in the middle of severe abuse that has monopolized her life. Melissa and I want you to see what she sees. We want you to feel what she feels. And lastly, we want you to hear what she is thinking.
You'll be scared with her, angry with her, sad with her, embarrassed with her, but I also promise you, you will laugh with her.
You will definitely laugh with her. As a psychologist, I work with children who have experienced trauma. They have a heightened sensory awareness to smells, taste, sight, hearing, and touch. This is also true for Sarah, my younger version. In this book, we focus on Sarah's sense of hearing, which is one of the reasons we are reaching out to you, Miss Dolly.
Sarah loved her foster father more than anyone in the world, next to Jesus, that is. And not only did she love her foster father, but he loved her just as much as well.
My foster father loved music. We would work in his garage singing and dancing together. We would always play your songs on his 8-track player, and sometimes you would come on the radio too. You were and still are a favorite artist and individual of mine. I will never forget those days in the garage and how your songs helped me as a child who was being emotionally, physically, and sexually abused.
And there's more. Sharon's nickname from her foster father was, you guessed it, Dolly, after you.
I have to say, at first, I was not sure that I was okay with that name, just because I was so much of a tomboy who didn't play with dolls. But once he explained to me why he wanted to call me Dolly, I loved the name. Here's a paragraph from the book where I was first started being called Dolly. Daddy puts his finger on his chin, saying over and over, "What should I call you?" At the same time, the radio was playing, and there was a man talking to Dolly Parton about her songs. "I got it," he said, shouting. "I'll call you Dolly," he says. "Dolly?" I said with big eyes. "I hate dolls," I remind him. "I know you do. The reason I picked the nickname Dolly is because I want you to grow up to be a strong, kind, caring woman like Miss Dolly Parton," he said to me, smiling. Just then, I heard Miss Dolly on the garage radio. "Hello, I'm Dolly." "Well, look at that. Wasn't that good timing?" he says, pointing his thumb at the radio. Miss Dolly was talking with a man about her first record. Daddy gets another idea. "Hey, Dolly Parton is singing on Hee Haw tonight. Want to watch it with me later?" Would I thought, yes, I told him, as I jumped up and down and then turned to run out of the garage.
Here's another excerpt from the book where we refer to you. When he finishes his work, we clean up the garage together, and then he'll get out his guitar and play for me. He sits on his bench stool while I sit on the cement floor by his feet. "What would you like to hear me play?" he asks me. "Play Dolly Parton," I tell him. "How about A Coat of Many Colors?" he asks me. I'm so happy because this is my favorite song from Miss Dolly. She sings about other kids making fun of her coat, but she likes it anyway. Daddy says this song reminds him of me because whenever he asks me what I want him to play on his guitar, I ask for this song. As I sit, I lean my head against Daddy's leg and close my eyes and listen to him play and sing. I have the coolest daddy ever.
As you can see, I have wonderful memories of my foster father and your music as I was living in that foster home.
So even though this is not my life story and I wasn't called Dolly growing up, I have also loved and admired you as a person as well as your music. As a teacher, I love how important children and literacy are to you. I have been following you and your imagination library very closely. I also see that you just co-authored your own book with James Patterson, so congratulations on that.
Yes, congratulations.
In addition to the impact you had on Sharon's life and being mentioned in the book, we knew your love of children and your passion for literacy made us have to ask you for an endorsement of our book.
We would be so honored if you would help us spread the word about this book. My goal in writing this book with Melissa and sharing it with the world is because I wanted others who have been abused and lived in the foster care system to know that they are not defined by their past or their past experiences. We have not only survived what we endured, but we thrived despite what happened to us.
Sharon's foster father had a huge part in helping her become the person she is today, but there were others along the way who made it possible for Sharon to become a success story. A teacher at her school gave her a birthday because Sharon not only never celebrated a birthday before, but she didn't even know her birthday. The teacher gave her a birthday and brought in cupcakes for her to hand out to everyone. We write about this event in the story as well.
And then there was a time I was picked up by a blue bus and taken to church, where I learned about God and Jesus. So my story is very faith-based as well.
I've put in a lot of time and energy writing this book with Sharon. I would be lying if I said I wasn't interested in making some money on it. But I want to tell you the number one reason I want this book to be a huge success. I think if Sharon is brave enough to tell her story to the whole world to try to help others in similar situations, then I want her to get something for it. Not that money or fame would ever make up for what she experienced, but I would love nothing more than to see her sitting on a beach, watching the waves, and at peace, or doing whatever she loves to do with the financial resources from it. I want that for her. You deserve it. And we could write the best book in the world, but without someone important telling the world what a great book it is, it could very well sit on a shelf unread.
Thank you, Melissa. It's extremely important to me and to us for the world to read this book. I want kids, we want kids in the foster care system and foster care alumni to know about how to find resiliency to pull themselves out of their own trauma. And also, I have to show you my shirt. And my shirt says, Melissa found and bought this shirt for me at a store called Altered State. As you can see, the shirt says, Raised on Dolly. Though my foster father is now deceased, I'm sure he would be proud that I turned out to be just like you, Miss Dolly, strong, kind, and caring.
I just had to buy that shirt for her as soon as I saw it. I thought it was so ironic that it came out in the midst of writing our book. And I believe that your foster father is looking down on you and smiling.
We would be honored, beyond honored, to have your endorsement on this book. But before you commit to an endorsement, we would be happy to share the entire manuscript with you.
Our book will be launched on Amazon and Barnes & Noble on April 7th, 2022.
We would be grateful if you would have your endorsement to us before January 1st of 2022.
That will give us time to get it in the book before we send it off to the publisher.
We are self-publishing at this time through our business, Principles LLC. We expect a publishing company to approach us once this book is released.
We saw that you're in the UK right now touring, or we would have offered to meet with you. Actually, we could fly over to the UK and meet with you if you really, really want to. But if we wanted to meet and discuss anything in our book prior to making your commitment, we would be happy to do that at your convenience.
And you are, of course, without a doubt, invited to our book launch at the Lunchbox in DuBois, Pennsylvania on May 7th, 2022, whether you endorse our book or not.
I know it sounds very exciting to come to DuBois, Pennsylvania.
DuBois would be excited
but we
to have her
would really
here.
love to have you come to that, so we had to throw that out there. We want to thank you so much for your time and consideration of our proposal.
We look forward to hearing from you, and have a good day and stay safe. Thank you.